Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the West Coast Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Richard Frias Guzman. It is Saturday, December 17th, 2022. Just recording this on an early Saturday morning after last night watching the Lakers go up against the Nuggets, and they ended up winning 126 to 108. Had a lot of news and everything that came up for the Dodgers. Some rumors that I really liked. I kind of added a little bit of fuel to the fire, if you would, to some of the stuff that I mentioned yesterday about Dansby Swanson. So we'll talk a little bit about that. When it comes down to the Dodgers, also as well, we'll be talking about the Raiders. Maybe not in that order. We'll kind of switch it up a little bit. We'll kind of do the opposite. If anything, we'll talk about the Raiders first, where I am going to be talking or kind of doing a little bit of a preview for tomorrow's game going up against the Patriots. All kinds of storylines when it comes down to all that. You have Josh McDaniels, a former assistant coach or offensive coordinator with the Patriots. You have Bill Belichick. You have Trent Brown on their team. Former Raider, former Patriot, back with the Patriots again. You have all kinds of former Patriots on the Raiders the team right now. You have former Raiders on the Patriots team right now. All kinds of storylines that you can come up with on this one, but I'll just kind of be staying focused more on the game itself. Maybe some things to kind of look forward to, as most of us know that it's a really long shot for the Raiders in order to go to make the playoffs at this point. If you guys haven't seen it, I have not wanted to repost it because I kind of think it's a little bit of a joke, in my honest opinion. I've kind of let you guys know a little bit, I think, in previous episodes, what the Raiders have to do in order to make it to the playoffs, or what needs to happen in order for them to make the playoffs. So it's not necessarily what they need to do, but also as well what other stuff needs to happen that's totally out of their control. But anyways, just to get off of all that, I do just before we go and start talking about everything here, I do just want to remind everybody that you can find me on Instagram and that you can find me on Twitter as well. It's going to be the same handle. It's West Coast Pod 702. Again, that's West Coast Pod 702. You'll find me on there. You can shoot me a DM or hit me up with any kind of questions or anything like that you have. Love to go and get to know my listeners. Love to go and talk to you guys, whether if it's about sports or any of the teams, anything going on in the NFL, NBA, major leagues, whatever the case is. I'd love to go and talk about it. Even if you just want to say hi, even if you're telling me that you use the podcast to go to sleep, I really don't care. But honestly, just going to get right into the podcast here again, guys. We're going to be talking about the Raiders, previewing the Sunday's game against the Patriots. Man, oh man, is there all kinds of anticipation when it comes down to this game. Of course, for the Raiders, you want to make sure you get a victory because it is at home. You want to go ahead and put on a show for Raider Nation. You want to make sure that you're kind of getting back on track, so to say. You want to go ahead and put that stupid game from Thursday night with the Rams totally behind you. You want to go ahead and ignore everything that happened when it came down to all that. In my opinion, that's exactly what I want to do. I almost want to forget that game even happened, similar to like that Colts game. Don't want to start ripping off band-aids or anything like that, or peeling some scabs or anything like that. But it is something that I just really want to look in the past, or keep that stuff in the past and all that. There's a lot of stuff that we can look forward to as Raider fans. There's been a lot of talks about Darren Waller, about Hunter Renfrow being able to make a comeback or coming back to the team and playing again this week. So it'd be nice to maybe see what the team can actually look like once they're actually fully healthy. It'd be nice to go and see what Josh McDaniels can come up with once his team is fully healthy as well. Once he has all his pieces and everything out there. You have a little bit of changes that have kind of happened with the team over these past couple of days, or ever since last time that they took the field. Lester Cotton Sr., one of the guards on the offensive line, he has been cut, and you kind of understand why. I mean, the dude just kind of fell behind the depth chart, and with Alex Bars going out, it looks like he's not going to be playing alongside with Rocky Yassin. you ended up seeing that the Raiders actually ended up signing a guy who was on the practice team of the Broncos. I am not gonna try saying his name because I know I'm gonna butcher it. But keep an eye out if you see a new name or you see a new guy out there on the offensive line. Don't be surprised. It is a new guy that we just signed off of the practice squad from the Broncos, as I mentioned. So definitely keep an eye out for that. The other things here that I just kind of want to mention for Raider fans to go ahead and keep an eye out for. You have Josh Jacobs, you have Devontae Adams, and you have Derek Carr, all capable of being able to make some sort of history or hit some sort of a milestone, if you would. When it comes on to Devontae Adams, I believe he only needs like 100 so yards, or maybe like 80 something yards. He'll be one of the few wide receivers alongside with guys like Jerry Rice, Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, who wide receivers who have consecutive years with over 1,300 yards, so over 1,300 yards, and I want to say it was 4 or 5 consecutive years. Now that, I mean, either way, whether if it's 4 or 5, it's pretty damn impressive. If he keeps it up and he actually has a long time great career with the Raiders, you could definitely expect this guy to be included with other guys like Marvin Harrison, like a Jerry Rice, and guys who have over 8 years of having over 1,300 yards. And this guy this year is leading the league or tied for leading the league in touchdowns as well for a wide receiver with 10, if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 12 now. So I mean, this guy, even just as a Raider, people are thinking that he's missing a beat, or he's not getting the same kind of numbers because it's Derek Carr. But I don't know if people are really looking at their numbers. Yeah, maybe it might look a little bit different because Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr are different quarterbacks, but you are definitely going to see some of the similar numbers, and you're starting to see more and more now. I mean, again, that Rams game was maybe not the best example, but you are starting to see that at least in some of the other recent games, things have been changing when it comes down to that. You have Josh Jacobs, who, if he gets another 140-yard game, or if he, if he gets another 140-yard game, he's going to be joining guys like Damian Tomlinson. You have a couple other guys like Jerome Bettis, guys who had multiple 140-yard rushing games. I want to say that was over 5 games in a season, and you have guys like that are thrown into the mix. At this point, if this guy continues on with the type of season that he is having, he has the capability of being able to have the most yards rushing for a Raider in history. When you have guys like a Marcus Allen, like a Darren McFadden, who were great running backs, and especially when you talk about a guy like a Marcus Allen, who is this guy's mentor when it comes down to Josh Jacobs. If he's able to go in and have records like that, definitely impressive when it comes down to it. The last one, I know a lot of people maybe don't want to hear, but Derek Carr, if he has another 300-yard game, if he actually throws if he throws 180 yards, he will be another one of the many quarterbacks alongside with like Peyton Manning, who have had 300-yard seasons, or 3,000-yard seasons, for over like 4 or 5 consecutive years. He's now in his 8th year. He has been able to go and throw up all these kinds of numbers. He's, I believe, now in one of those categories where he can be in his 8th season in a row and doing so, and joining guys like Peyton Manning, like Matt Ryan, I think was one of them. You have a lot of great quarterbacks included in that list, but it'd be nice to see. If I do see it again, I'll make sure to retweet it or to repost it. Now, the last couple things here, I do just want to mention for the Raider game, just have fun with it. Hopefully it is a good game and everything, guys, but just keep an open mind and just enjoy the game overall. I am expecting it to be a victory because the Patriots, besides their defense, the defense is great, but they actually have quite a bit of injuries on that side of the ball, or that side of the field. They have a couple key guys out, like a defensive tackle is still really questionable if he's going to be playing, and I think they actually want to just hang on to him and maybe keep him healthy overall. You have a couple of their defensive backs who are out as well at this time, who are, again, the same thing. You'd rather just kind of keep them healthy, and you'd rather just make sure that you're not going to go ahead and use them up or anything like that throughout the season, and potentially cause further injury. So it is a good opportunity for the Raiders in order to come away with the victory on this one, and in order to add a W to it. And I wouldn't say, I don't want to bring up the playoffs or anything like that, or the possibility of them being able to do that. It is a long shot at this point, but we'll see what happens when it comes down to it. I just really want to enjoy this game, just kind of take it day by day, or just week by week, if you would. So that is gonna just kind of do it when it comes down to the Raiders. And then speaking of taking things week by week, it is how you have to kind of approach things on the next team that I am going to be talking about when it comes down to the Dodgers. So when it comes down to the Dodgers here, guys, I'm taking everything week by week, because with it being the off season, there's not going to be a whole lot of things that are going to be happening. It is going to kind of be a week by week kind of thing. You saw that this week you had quite a bit of news that came out. You saw that Cody Bellinger finally finalized a couple of things when it comes down to him signing with the Cubs. It is a player that I'm going to be missing. I know my wife is going to be missing him, and a lot of my other family members, and a lot of Dodger fans that are just in general Dodger fans, but a lot of the women or female Dodger fans are going to be missing him. But maybe even guys too, for whatever the case is. But I know a lot of people will definitely miss him when it comes down to it. It would be, the dude was a Rookie of the Year, MVP, champion with us. He had a lot of stuff. He had a lot of growth within the team. He came to us just a clean shaven, little young kid. Now is off to playing with the Cubs, and wish them all the best of luck, of course, and all that, except when it's against the Dodgers, right? But it is sad to go and see the guy leave, but you understand why. Sometimes people just kind of need a change just for change's sake. Once you had a lot of time with one organization, it just kind of happens, especially in baseball. Happens a lot in sports, just all around together. So I mean, it is one of those things that just happens, but it is sad to see happen. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people still wearing his jersey. I really encourage a lot of Dodger fans. I think it's one of the main things that we as Dodger fans really appreciate, is that when a particular player has a really great career, a really great time or years with an organization, and he really gets embraced by the fans, I believe that they continue to go in and wear his jerseys. I've seen plenty of times from being in Dodger Stadium, all kinds of jerseys from former players, and people really, really like it too. They see them and they start talking about the times that they seen him play, while they were a Dodger and all this and that, and they start talking, oh, how is he doing with the other team that he's doing, and this and that, and it's always, oh, it would be nice to have him back, because it does happen a lot. Andre Ethier, you have Matt Kemp, who ended up coming back. You have a lot of cases when it comes down to all that. So with that being said, though, guys, another big, or I guess some big news that ended up coming up. I posted it, I think, on my personal page, and I need to get better at actually posting it on my actual podcast page. So guys, if you guys didn't see it, the Dodgers ended up making a pretty big signing for their starting pitching. They have signed for a 1-year deal. I think it was like $13 million or something like that, maybe a little bit more, for Noah Syndergaard. This guy is freaking Thor. This guy looks like Thor. He's a big dude, kind of what you want in a pitcher overall. He has a really great fastball when it comes down to it, with some incredible movement. People like to classify it as a cutter, just because of the movement that it has. He has a great curveball as well that he throws in conjunction with it, or that he throws, I guess to somewhat complement that fastball. He has that ability of being able to go ahead and use those two pitches as his knockout punch, if you would. He has a great repertoire when it comes down to it. He can always switch it up when he has a slider going and everything as well. I think it'll be a really great addition for this starting pitching. It'll be a really great addition for the team overall, to go ahead and just elevate the team just in general. When it comes down to it, you really are impressed with some of the signings or some of the moves that have been happening. You're starting to see that things are kind of things that they're solidifying, or that they're focusing on the one main thing that we were kind of lacking over this past season, and that's starting pitching. So you definitely hope that with now looking at it, you have Noah Syndergaard, you have Walker Buehler once he's back healthy, you have Clayton Kershaw out there as well. Again, you miss Tim Anderson, but it is what it is. But then you also have Dustin May, you have Tony Gonsolin. You're starting to see it all kind of come together, if you would. So it is going to be interesting to go and see what this team is going to look like, or what the starting pitching rotation is going to look like once it's all said and done. The last thing that I did want to mention when it comes down to the Dodgers, there has been some reports of Freddie Freedman, kind of doing a little bit of recruiting, if you would, for Dansby Swanson. And I think that would be the best way to go, especially if a lot of Dodger fans or a lot of people are maybe thinking that Carlos Correa is not going to be the end all be all, or the future shortstop for the Dodgers. But it would be nice to go and see Dansby Swanson out there. Maybe even if they can lock him up for a pretty good deal or something like that, or a pretty good extension, it'll be really nice, because I'm getting sick and tired of seeing some of these shortstops that come in, play their 1 or 2 years, then they're out of there, and then they get some big old contract. I think it's time that we finally solidify a really good shortstop for the Dodgers moving forward. But we'll see what happens when it comes down to all that. I am just hoping that there is a chance that they can actually find a way to get them onto the team. So Freddie, keep on doing your thing. Now, guys, with that being said, before I move on over to the Lakers and talk about the game last night, I did just want to go ahead and just mention not a Facebook, but an Instagram page that you can take a look at. I'm pretty sure you guys already know which one I'm going to be talking about. If you guys haven't heard it before, it is called Rosie's Designs EST 2022. On my Instagram, and as well on my YouTube, I'll be kind of posting. I'll be mentioning them on there, or I'll be just kind of putting a screenshot of the Instagram page. So guys, if you guys haven't heard about it, or if you guys haven't listened to the podcast before, definitely go and check out the page. It's called Rosie's Designs EST 2022. You're going to be able to see that there's customized chip bags that my wife makes on there. You'll see that she can make it for any kind of occasion, whether if it's like a birthday, baby shower, any kind of holiday party or anything like that you got going on. You pick the chips that you want. If you have anything in particular, if you start working with her on as far as like the design, if you have any pictures or anything like that, or any kind of colors that you want in particular, she'll be able to work with you on all that. But definitely just go ahead and shoot her, check out the page, send her a DM if you have any questions or anything like that, and she'll be happy to go ahead and help you out there. Also myself, I even help out as well. So if you have any questions or anything like that, definitely feel free to reach out to me if you don't have Instagram or anything like that. So again, just to let you know, the page, it's Rosie's Designs EST 2022. Definitely going to check it out, guys. So just to go and wrap up the podcast here, guys, I'm going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. With the Lakers, they were underway going up against the Nuggets last night. They ended up beating them 126-108. It was overall a great game. You have some things that you definitely want to go and talk about when it comes down to it. Unfortunately, AD goes down with a foot injury. It looked like it might have been something serious, but at the same time, you don't want to assume, you don't want to go and start panicking or anything like that either. It really just, you saw that he was maybe going through a little discomfort or something like that earlier in the game. Then you see that he had to take some time in the tunnel in order to go in and start working on it and see if he's actually able to go in and go out there and play again. Then you saw later on that he was not able to go in and return. He still even had 12 points in the game and all that. You saw that he was working on his passing and everything, when it comes down to AD. Just overall, I think even in his defense, that's the area where you really saw that he was maybe hurting, because there was a lot of times that the Nuggets got easy buckets, and there was times where AD was within the general area, but you didn't see him usually take his his big leaps or anything like that, or how he covers ground so easily, by moving so quickly. You didn't really see that a lot from him, and I think that's where ultimately you got to see, like, okay, something's bothering him. Something, that foot, that ankle, whatever the case was. We heard on the broadcast, or on the TV broadcast, that it was a foot. Hopefully it is just maybe a little sprain, maybe sore or something like that, whatever the case is, and doesn't take up too much time. Honestly, I was one of the fans maybe as well who thought that the game was totally over at that point. We'll see what overall. We saw the end result. All kinds of players stepped up big time when it came down to it. Bron did his thing. LeBron was being LeBron. Did another 30-point game. It did just about a little bit of everything. But I really think that between him and Austin Reeves, maybe a couple other players, they really showed that if you just move when other people have the basket, you cut, you relocate, you try to free up yourself or whatever for a basket, somebody will find you, and somebody will make you, or somebody will appreciate you actually making that extra effort, and they'll reward you with getting the ball for an easy bucket. LeBron did that multiple times throughout this game, and I think that Austin Reeves and other players are starting to kind of realize that too. And you're starting to see that they're things are starting to click when it comes down to all that. People are really not, our teams, the players are not just standing around waiting for something to happen. They want to make something happen. So it is good to go in and see that. I definitely one of the things that I ended up liking big time from the team, as an overall. Russ did his thing when it came down to it. If you guys didn't see Russ's game, or if you guys didn't see the game, Russ ended up with the triple-double at the end of it. What was it? 15 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, 11 rebounds. Dude was just doing a little bit of everything out there. I really think he's making himself a really big candidate for Sixth Man of the Year. I really do think that he has a big chance for that. We'll just have to see if the dude keeps this up. I really think that he has a good fighting chance for all that. How many Sixth Men of the Year get as many triple doubles or flirt around with triple doubles as much as this guy does, and all the double doubles that he gets with the assist and everything as well. So it is definitely definitely great to go in and see Russ when it comes doing well when it comes down to all this, and really embracing that role coming off of the bench and still providing a really big punch for the team. So definitely great to go in and see all that. You had Austin Reeves out there who was still doing his thing. Dude just does a little bit of everything, as I mentioned as well with him. I really can't ask much more for the guy. The dude, if he just continues to go in and just work on his game and just continues to grow, that's all you really can ask for. I think the guy has grown so much in just a little bit of time that he's been with the team. But he's really one of those kind of guys, similar to like a Caruso, that he elevates, whatever opportunity his stars or the main players end up creating. So it is definitely a great guy to have around the team and everything when it comes down to all that. The last couple of players that I really wanted to mention here, Thomas Bryant, you have him, 21 points. Dude ended up coming up big time once AD ended up going out with that foot injury. What can you ask? The dude had those ACL injuries to his knee. He fought back, got back into shape, and look at the guy now. He's ended up doing a little bit of everything too. He was great at rim running. He was great at trailing. He was great at running the floor. Really active on the boards. Six boards and everything as well, but still very active all the time when it came down to it. He even got a couple 3-pointers up. So you got to even see all aspects of his game. And honestly, it was one of the things that we were waiting for as Laker fans, because we all knew the capability of Thomas Bryant. We all knew that he was a big guy, really athletic, and who can run the floor, get some easy buckets. And then later on, he started developing that 3-point shot. So that's another thing that I think we're all looking forward to. A big man who can shoot a 3-pointer, who can kind of help out, work alongside with AD. And then, things didn't really work out that way, but hopefully with this emergence of him and him showing that he can actually get the job done, and he's still working hard and still looking forward to, being a big impact on this team overall. You got to go in and see that, and you really, really appreciate it. I think now you have some other stuff to work with. Hopefully, again, AD is not out for too long, and you can build off of that. Maybe you can have a too big lineup when it comes down to those guys. So it'd be good to go and see what happens with all that. But again, all kinds of things that first we just need to wait and see what happens with AD. I think we should have a better understanding of it by tomorrow. I believe they go up against, I believe they play again tomorrow or on Sunday. So we'll see again what happens with all that, guys. But again, Lakers ended up winning 126-108, kind of getting rid of that horrible taste in our mouth from that Celtics game. Where, in my opinion, I think we should have definitely gotten in the game. But it is what it is when it comes down to it, guys. Again, they made up for you on this one, having a really great victory against the Nuggets. It was 126-108. But that is gonna do it for this game, for this podcast here, guys. I felt like I kind of went on a little bit longer since I ended up talking about all three teams. But I'll talk to you guys again on Monday, most likely. I'll let you guys enjoy your weekend and hope you guys have a good one. But until next time, guys, take care. Say to your loved ones that you love them. Have a good weekend. Be safe, everybody out there, especially with the holidays. But take care. Peace.